Good morning all. My name is Tessa Richard and I'm Business Development Manager for the National Narrowband Network, and we are working in partnership with Goanna Ag, building out the National Narrowband Network across rural Australia. NNNCo is a 100% Australian-owned, privately owned company. We've been going for 3 years, and as the name says, we're building a national narrowband network. It's a shared IoT LoRaWAN technology network. So once we build out gateways and connectivity, that connectivity and coverage is available for anyone that wanted to use that. It's not a private network that's being built. Sorry, so going forward, not going forward. Yep, thank you. So the solutions we put out on the farm with Goanna, we're providing, well, let me go back a bit. As the fact that we're an Australian company or a national company, there's a large ecosystem of devices that is available to customers and to users, and we have global partnerships with device manufacturers. So apart from the solutions that Goanna are implementing, which are extremely in expert fields of agriculture, we're not claiming to be ag experts, but we have the ability to bring other solutions into the farms. And what we've brought on to Kawula at this point is some more simple solutions, like monitoring who's coming across your cattle grid where you can't see or open a gate or lock the gate. There's environmental sensors that we've had, obviously, in the shearing sheds, in the pump houses. There's the tracking devices that can monitor all of the assets, your tractors, your trucks, the feed carts that are going around the farm, so you can keep an eye and also understand where they all are. And the other is a simple thing as understanding what farm gates are open or closed on your farm. So you can, and understandably, there's a lot of large farms and a gate might have been left open by accident. You can be sitting back in the office looking on at night, looking at your screens, going, okay, let's check all of the gates that are meant to be closed are closed, and you'll be alarmed and know that there's one open, you need to go and close it. Or other ways around, you need to open things if you're moving cattle through. We can supply the data that we supply from the sensors and from any other of the solutions comes through our network, and then it is directed back out to any application that you as farmers and companies want to use. We are very agnostic to where the data goes. We basically collect the data for you and send it to whatever platform it is that you require. We do have a simple platform for the solutions we provide, just as a demonstration and for any simple things that anyone might want. Cattle grid monitoring is, as you can see up here, also we had the devices out there yesterday on the farm. You can see the pulses as coming down, tells you how many people have come in and come out, what times they've come in and come out. And there's been some interesting things, Darren, that we've seen someone at 4 o'clock in the morning go across the grid. Yeah, we were wondering about that. Environmental monitoring gives you the temperature, humidity, and also it gives you a motion. It has a motion sensor in the sensor. So, you know, the shearing shed's closed and there's obviously not meant to be anyone in it, but it can set an alarm and tell you different times of day, you know, is someone going in there, bing, bing, someone's gone into the shed, you can go and investigate, find out, or are some animals getting in, whatever it might be. This is the asset, the quad runner. There's an oyster, what's called a little oyster. They're tiny little devices. Darren installed those onto the quad runner, and that can then track where those quad runners and where the feed cart goes around the farm. And it gives you a map with the directions, and it also does have speed on there, so you can probably set an alarm if you like, if someone's going too fast on the quad run around the farm, and, you know, chase them down and warn them and said, I saw you speeding up the hill. Then there's the farm gate open and close, which I was mentioned earlier. It's a simple device that has a sort of, it's like a magnetic closure. Once it opens, obviously it goes, yes, closed. It's installed at the hinge of the gate rather than at the gate where you might have the hook and chain, because the gates often will move and might give you false alarms if you have it installed at the other end. So the development's pending for NNNCo. Obviously, we're building a national narrowband network, and we're also expanding that across metropolitan Australia at the same time, working with councils. We work with utilities to provide smart metering solutions for water, gas and electricity. And we're also working with other infrastructure partners so we can provide solutions for supply chain and logistics, tracking produce from farms, from producers, all the way to the supermarket. Another large solution that we have that's in final stages of development is the remote access and control switching of an irrigation pump or a bore pump. As Alicia made mention, you can, if you, from your app or your desktop, you can say, okay, we've had the pumps been going enough, we've filled the dam, we've filled the tanks, or we've turned the irrigation needs to go on or off. Remotely turn those on and off, rather than having to drive 20 minutes down to where the pump might be. Thank you very much. If you need any questions, come and see us.